Hi, I'm Charles Wyke-Smith, and I am here at the PeachpitTV booth on the floor of the trade show at South by Southwest 2008. I have the great pleasure today of being here with Loveday and Sandra Niehaus of Closed Loop Marketing, and we're going to talk about the world of web, South by Southwest, and their wonderful new book, Web Design for ROI. I'd like to welcome you both here. It's a pleasure to talk to you. And
thank you.
So let's get started here. First, impressions of South by Southwest. What have you seen here? What's exciting you, Lance?
It's about the coolest conference I've ever been to, I think, and I've been to a lot of conferences. I just like the vibe of it, the people, the openness, and the fact that you can see these internet celebrity heavyweights walking around in the hallways and just stop and have a casual conversation. It's like nothing I've ever seen. I'm really enjoying it.
Great. So Sandra, what have you seen here that's exciting and interesting?
Yeah, I just came back from a session with Helen Hunt. It was a discussion with Helen Hunt, and that was amazing to see her. And just, yeah, the combination of having developers and film producers and musicians just all mixing. I went to a session with Jared Spool, and he gave an example of a great interactivity that he liked on the web, and someone from the back of the room raised their hand and said, "I built that," you know, and the crowd just broke up.
I mean, that sums it up, doesn't it? Everybody's here. That approachability and the, as I was saying earlier, I've never enjoyed standing in line more in my whole life, because you just turn around and you talk to someone and they're absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
It's great in that respect. So your company's called Closed Loop Marketing, which I find kind of intriguing. You want to tell me a little bit about what that means, Lance? Why did you pick that particularly? And what's closed loop in this context?
Sure. Well, the idea is to track all of your marketing activity and be able to close the loop, so to speak, such that you know what your return on investment is for all of your marketing activities. And you can prioritize your spending, you can prioritize your investments, where you allocate your dollars according to where you're going to get the highest return. And we try to help clients enable the tracking systems so that they can measure their success, and then we implement the campaigns that drive the traffic, drive the conversions, sales, whatever their goals are, and be able to report out on the whole thing in a very rational, and we think, intelligent way.
So how are you finding clients are responding to that measurability of marketing that really wasn't available on the billboards? How can you say how effective your billboards are? The web is somewhere where you can really quantify and measure. How are you finding clients are responding to your ability to turn, you know, their marketing dollars into raw data and show them the effectiveness of that? How are they responding to that?
I think they're responding very positively. For some clients, it's an eye-opener. They didn't realize that it was even possible. Other clients, though, they're expecting it because they know it's out there. And so I think more and more we're going to find more and more sophisticated clients that come in and say, "We know you guys can do this. This is what we want to do because we've heard this is the best thing."
So it's kind of a given and an expectation now.
It will be more and more.
Well, I think Jared made that point, that the magic becomes an expectation over time, and I think that's kind of happening there too. But there is other magic you give them, which is some of the information here in the book. And what I loved about this book was that the ideas in it were so simple. It was almost like, it's what I call a wow, duh moment, where you know your first reaction is amazement, and then it's like, oh, that's so screamingly obvious. And I loved your book for that. So tell me a little, just at a sort of high level, what I'm going to get from reading Web Design for ROI. What's the big takeaway here?
Sure. Well, there's sort of two parts to the book. The first part is what we call the big picture, the business case for why web design matters to organization success. The importance of getting the first impression right, the importance of getting your metrics right, and approaching this as a strategic investment instead of just a sunk cost and the type of thing where you can just check the box and be done. Really paying attention to the quality of your website and the quality of your user experience and how that portrays you in the marketplace. And we try to make that business case pretty impactful right up front. And then in the second session, we move into some specific design guidelines for different types of pages, home pages, landing pages, forms, checkout, and so on, to give people a sense for the questions that users are asking when they land at those types of pages, the metrics that organizations should be tracking in order to measure their success of these different types of pages, and then again those specific design guidelines that people can be thinking about when they're designing these pages to try to give them a leg up and starting from a higher place when they're designing their site.
Okay. Sandra, I really enjoyed the chapter on the home page ideas. There were just a few things that maybe you could just help us understand what if I had to do 3 things. If you said to me, there are 3 things that you should really get right on your homepage to make it effective. What would your advice be?
Oh well, the homepage is a place that a lot of traffic comes to. Not all of it, but a lot of traffic comes to your site for the first time.
And a lot of people take one look and click out of these sites. So how do you stop them? How do you get them to make that first crucial click to drill down?
Right, exactly. I mean, the research has shown that within the first 1/20th of a second, someone has already, 1/20th of a second, it's not even 1 second.
Like they go,
they've already decided whether they trust you, whether they believe that you can do what you can do, whether you're a quality company, whether you're credible. They've already decided that about your company within that first 1/20th of a second. So, for your homepage, you need to make sure that you look like the industry you belong to. So you need to, you don't want to look radically different than all your other competitors.
If you're a financial site, don't make it to Web 2.0.
Exactly. You want to be unique, of course, and branded, but you want to look like the industry you belong to. And the second
thing... So look at other sites and see what they're doing in your industry and see how you can improve and build on that.
See if you fit in at least in the feeling or the general look and feel. And then secondly, make sure that your identity and what you do is super clear. Don't use some sort of, especially if you're a small brand and you're unknown, don't use some, pretty marketing slogan like, "We can do it." Well, what? What is it you do? If someone's coming to your site for the first time, you want to make it super clear what you do. We build microscopes, or dog gifts for the dog lover.
So that may seem simplistic to you, but you've got to do it for your customer. Be real clear about the offer.
It's all about looking at your site from a first-time visitor's point of view. Can they get who you are, what you're about, and that you're trustworthy within that first 1/20th of a second?
That's really interesting.